So, this is different. The reason I'm making this video, I want to start getting into tech stuff. And honestly, I think that'd be a lot more fitting for me considering that, my Quest is kind of far. Stay up there. Yeah, he is. Stay like right there, out of the way. All right. I just want to start making these types of videos because I can't get the motivation to do gaming content anymore. But I am also very good with tech. Well, very good is definitely a stretch, but I am definitely pretty fair with tech. So, as you can see, we got a Motorola here. This is what this video is going to be about. We're going to have a little bit of a fun time with this phone. As you can tell, it's got Lineage on it, or did have it. It doesn't do anymore, and I don't know why. This phone's been giving me a little bit of trouble recently. I've been having ADD issues with my desktop too. It was needing an update for it somewhere in settings. I'll check if that installed, but not that that really matters. To the point of this video and off of what's probably me just looping and procrastinating, we're going to be messing around with the almighty Motorola G7 Play. A probably very memorable phone for a lot of people, as this was one of those big budget phones from a lot of carriers, and just on Motorola site for track phones, Straight Talks, Sprint, or whatever at the time. Very memorable phone, very decent phone in my opinion. Pretty good for, at the time, a kind of low range mid-grade market. So this is the way I look at it with tiers of phones. You've got low grade, which is, really bad phones. You've got mid-low grade, definitely getting better, talking less than budget track phones, but still budget. Instead of 16 gigabytes in 2019, we're giving you 32 because we're kind. And then you got high grade mid-range phones, just maybe a boost of RAM from a gigabyte to 2 gigabytes or something. Again, in the terms of 2018, 2019 type of phones, what everybody calls the track phone, burner phones, whatever you want to call it. Then we get into mid-grade phones, kind of the category I would put this one under for its time period, and still where I would classify it in the more modern spree phones, though moving it down that chart, where I would classify it now, a low-grade, mid-grade phone. Gets the job done, makes calls and texts, does what it should. Can play a few basic games on it, and if you really want to, something like Minecraft Bedrock on 5-6 chunks, it'll get the job done. Has 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, nothing crazy. Gets the point across. And where I would classify this at the time of its release, mid-grade phones. Kind of getting better. We're that middle point where everybody else kind of just gets the job done, can do a little more than the normal phone, but definitely not as much as, I don't know, like in this case, a Pixel 7 Pro or a Pixel tablet if this was phone hardware. Oh wait, it is. It's a Pixel 7 with a bigger, lower resolution, lower refresh rate screen. Point being though, then from there you get the gist, your high-range mid-grade phones, low-range high-grade phones, mid-range high-grade phones, and high-range high-grade phones. You gotta get the idea. There's 3 subcategories of those standard categories that I view it in, and the time of the release for, for the time of the release for this phone, I would put this under the mid-grade category of the mid-range. And honestly, it still holds up really well for what it is, in my opinion. Started off on Android 9 and got official software updates for one whole Android version up to Android 10. And it struggled a little on the stock OS once it hit the last 3 or 4 updates that Motorola released for it on Android 10, but it still chugged really well. And with LineageOS, yeah, it slugs a little behind if you install the Google services, anything beyond the core package. But if you do just the core package and LineageOS on this phone, it actually runs a little bit better than its last few updates and feels like you're back on Android 9 again. Or if you really wanted to, just Aurora store the thing, some micro G apps and stuff, or micro G, and you've got yourself the perfect phone that gets the point across. You can find for real cheap, and honestly, in my opinion, this is just a Motorola, was it There's, I think the Moto G or something is all they called it. Was it the G? I can't even remember what they called it, but it was a decent phone for what it was, and it got the point across. Kind of same hardware as this with a slightly better CPU, and I think an extra gigabyte of RAM on top of it, but the same amount of storage and everything, and it was kind of like an iPhone SE 2nd gen in terms of hardware, and it really did fly, and it's honestly original brother here that it took a lot of inspiration from the styling of the body and stuff from, really does hold up here too. So let's get the phone into recovery mode here. In this case, the Lineage recovery, because I have already modified this phone. No guys, we're not about to go through the hellish process of Android 80B over Windows recovery stuff and root the phone or unlock the bootloader, because I did that forever ago. It was actually pretty easy with this phone, but it was still hell. I think the easiest device I've actually ever modified Android on would be my Pixel tablet here. Apparently it's dead right now. Back to the start of the show. Let's get started. We're gonna move to my desktop over here, and we're gonna start working on this. I've already got the LineageOS, I think 22, based on Android 15 downloaded, and I've also got the what do you call it? The Mind the Gaps package, or Mind the G Apps package, also downloaded. Alongside that, we're also going to install Magisk, so we can, through the recovery hijacking method, so that we can root this phone and kind of do whatever we want with it. This one here, as you can tell, having a custom recovery and being me in the US, you could probably guess, this is a fully unlocked unit. I got this back in 2019. It's been a very good phone to me. I used it for a few years, and then I moved to an iPhone X. Honestly, I did hate that phone because it ran on iOS, which ironically I'm recording this on an iPhone XS right now. Point being though, I moved from this because that iPhone X had more storage. I went from 32 gigs to 256, and I'm like, I like this. And that did a lot better for me until that phone got broken. Then I ended up moving to a 5S, and then from there, I got an A12, a Galaxy phone. That thing sucked. It was high-end, low-range phone. I mean, it was good if you were to buy a track phone, but it was an unlocked unit, and that thing sucked. You would answer a call, crash. You would send a text message, oh, where's my cell service? I'm in range, everybody else has service, but I don't. And you'd be on the same carrier as them with the same band support. So, it was a little bit of an interesting phone. Then that's when I said, screw it, I'm saving up, I'm buying myself a Pixel phone. Started off with a Pixel 6 Pro, that one ended up getting broken during weightlifting, fell out of my pocket, and I passed it on to a friend who was more willing to put the money into repairing the screen on it. He's been using that phone and still uses it to this day. That one was a Verizon unlocked unit. And here we are now with my Pixel 7 Pro. This one I also got used. It's been getting the job done. I'm hoping I can keep this phone even after it loses support. This one's a Canadian model, so it came unlocked anyways, and I do hope to flash Lineage to it down the line when it loses support next year. I'll give it about a year, and then once Android 16 LineageOS port comes out, I'll probably put that on here, or some fork of Pixel Experience, depending. You can kind of get both with either. In my opinion, Lineage just makes it easier, as it usually serves updates the longest from what I've seen. They're usually very stable builds of the updates too. Pixel Experience is pretty stable, but I've had issues with it once in a while, unlike Lineage, which gives me a ton of free range to do whatever I want. Now, let's move to the desktop, like I said, and start working on this and stop procrastinating. I'll see you guys on the computer.
Okay, so here we are on my desktop. Welcome to the very sorted, still somehow messy looking desktop. What are you doing over here? You're supposed to go over here. Anyways, point being, we're here on my desktop. We've got the platform tools from another project I was working on sitting right here, so that works out for us. We'll bring that over here and do ADB for my sake, and not ADB, shoot, CMD for my sake. We'll open this, and here we are with our command line. we're going to be using ADB side loading for this. So under my LineageOS recovery here, I'm going to want to go down to the apply update option. Should be the second one when you're in the recovery. When you hit that, you'll see another option, apply from ADB. I'll put pictures up on the screen showing what this looks like. Apply from ADB, and here we are in my ADB side load. So we're going to grab my Type-C cable and plug the phone into the computer. That's a good sound. That's not a good sound. And quickly, I'm going to pull up my downloads folder, and we're going to drop this right there. And now that we're back here, test ADB devices real fast. Come on. Please detect the phone. Okay, so we do see it. That means the ADB drivers did work. So in this case, we're going to do ADB. Shoot, let me think. I actually probably also need the boot image to update the recovery. I think it'll actually automatically update that when I sideload the new update and put it into slot A. Or actually, well, in this case, slot B. So, alright, screw it. We'll just do ADB side load. And then we're going to drop LineageOS 22.1 in here based off Android 15 R1, I think. We'll hit enter. No, not open the zip file. Enter on there. What did I do wrong? Hold on. ADB side load. I think I'm doing this right. Hold on. No, hold on. I'm not going crazy, am I? Let me look this up real quick. I think I'm doing this right, but it's not taking it. So, looking at it, I am doing this right. Sometimes ADB, or the platform tools, like to be a little sucker, and you gotta put the file in with the actual platform tools, and just manually do the zip file name from there. So what we're gonna do is bring that back up, and then move over till we hit here, and then remove all of that directory stuff. And it's still not doing it. Okay. Did I misspell it? Probably did. ADB side load. SIDELOAD. No, I did not misspell it. Oh, great. And the phone cord's having an issue, but I know that's not going to be causing an issue with it. Alright, I'm going to download some different platform tools here real quick and try that out. Actually, let me just double check. ADB device is attached. Okay, so it does see it. It's definitely connected. I have no idea. I'll try a different boot image first and see if that does anything. Can you quit disconnecting? I'll have to find a different core too, apparently. Let me quickly get the boot image and stuff and just sideload that, or, well, push it through fast boot, and we'll see if that fixes this issue. I haven't had that issue with Lineage before. It usually just updates the recovery when you sideload a new firmware image for like a new operating system. We'll see though. Okay, so I will boot into fast boot and flash that recovery image. I did download the boot.img file, which I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, that may not be the recovery image. Shoot. This phone was always iffy about that. I might actually have to use TWRP recovery to flash it, but I don't want to do that if I don't have to. Let me think on this. ADB reboot, fast boot, if I can spell. Device not found, what do you mean? It is there. Well, apparently the thing's not working anymore. This is great. course, nothing wants to go smooth with these videos when they need to. Look, it was connected. What do you mean? Maybe I can plug it into the monitor? Will that do it? Let me go to advanced and enable ADB. Okay, so it is detected now and having less issues, so I think it was just the USB port on my PC being weird. ADB reboot. Yeah, okay, so it is working with ADB commands. That's what's getting me confused. Alright. And are we in fast boot, or do I need to manually boot to that? We are already in fast boot, so we are good to go. So, fast boot, flash, recovery, and then the recovery image, which is somewhere here in my downloads. I think that'd be the boot image file. What do you mean? Excuse me, what? Okay, so I might actually just have a broken fast or platform tools thing here. Let me download a different one and see if that works. Okay, so we have a different image of, or a different version of ADB fast boot tools here, for the platform tools. I got this one from Google's website. I guess the other one I had was not that, which I don't even know how I managed, but you know, whatever. So we're gonna move this over here, and then pull up my file explorer here. And yes, okay, so we do have the boot image. So ADB, or fast boot devices. Oh, that's great. So apparently we're not in fast boot mode. Recovery mode. Let me see if I can just flash the image now, because we did have that broken thing there. And in the platform tools folder, I also have the Lineage 22 build. So we're going to drop that out of there. ADB. Side load. And then we're going to grab the LineageOS image, and it should do that once I go to the apply update option here. And oh, okay, that's further. Hello. Nope, not that. Thank you very much. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. And I'm actually seeing stuff happening on the phone. That would explain why I was having issues with it. I had a broken copy of the platform tools. So we're gonna let this flash here. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's gone pretty quick. This is definitely a smaller image than what was put on my Pixel tablet. So this shouldn't take too long. And then once we flash the Lineage, or not Lineage tools, Mind the Gaps package, and let me put all that over here. We got that for the apps. We got the image here for the phone's software. Move this down by one, and we're going to open my browser here and quickly download the Magisk file. So we're going to go to their GitHub here, download the APK. I said download the APK. We're going to pull up my downloads here, and we're going to rename this. We're going to name it to .zip to flash it from the recovery instead, which they do support. So once we do that, we'll have the zip file here with everything in it, and we're going to flash this via the update line here when this gets stuck at 47% for God only knows how long. I promise, don't take this as specifically a guide, but if you're ever doing like a Lineage or just in general custom software flash from ADB, it 99% of the time gets stuck at 47% and just sits there. And you've got to keep an eye on the device itself, because it's now on to its own steps where it's installing the update on the phone itself, and the command line's not going to tell you anything about that, so you got to keep an eye on your phone from there. Now, I'm gonna halt off for a minute. I'll be back when the phone decides to finish its setup and installation here with that. And we are back in the recovery. Okay, so the phone did finish. Whenever you're in the Lineage recovery doing this, if you actually do boot through the Lineage recovery and not like Twerp or something, which you kind of have to do through one of those two. If you're in the Lineage recovery, I'll show you a picture of what the screen looks like right now for your reference, and you know what you're looking at for after it installs the OS. There will be a screen here for the recovery that, if I could actually get the phone to open its camera here to get the picture of this. There we go. All right. So it'll kind of say something here. To install additional packages, you need to reboot the recovery first. You want to reboot to recovery now. You just hit yes, and that'll reboot you to recovery. If you're going to install packages this way, such in my case, the GApps package, Magisk and stuff, if you just want a literally de-Googled stock experience, even though there are some Google services still in there, not directly Google, but some stuff related to it, you can reboot now and just hit no. But you don't have to do that. If you want to be me and install a few other things before we do start the phone, you're going to want to reboot to your recovery real quick. So I'm currently opening the recovery. You'll hear it connect in a minute probably. And when it does that, I should actually be in slot B this time for the recovery image. And that's because I'm on a AB device for the recovery slots. Yes, I am. And I am now on version 22.1. So if we go back down to apply update, and I'm just going to get the photos real quick of this. Okay. And it's really blurry because, you know, we like that. Come on. Alright, there we go. And okay, so now that I've got those, we're in the recovery and in the ADB side mode for installing updates. What we're going to want to do here now is we can close that folder and grab my Mind the Gaps package. We're going to drop this in here and hit, well, actually we need to put ADB side load first. Don't listen to me. We're going to do ADB side load and then that. ADB side load and then paste the image, which apparently didn't have that, even though it did paste it. What? Okay. So when you do that, you'll see stuff happening on the phone, and there's a chance the phone will bring up an unverified package warning for a lot of this stuff that you're installing. When it does that, just hit yes, especially if you know where the package is from and what it does. If you don't, I don't recommend hitting yes if you don't trust it. So whenever this does its thing, come on, buddy. Okay, this part actually is taking a little longer than my Pixel tablet. Oh, I just smacked my keyboard with the phone. And it's about halfway done. I'm going to step away while this takes its time. Oh, never mind. Okay, so installing update, step 1 of 2. I guess in this case it actually didn't freak out about the signed package warning. And again, as it does via the update applying with Lineage and stuff, it just stops at 47% and looks like it's not doing a thing, even though stuff is happening on the phone. So again, don't be alarmed. Just once it hits 47, pop over to your phone and just keep an eye on it, or tablet. If you're ever doing this, it's something it does. It's not broken. Okay, so it'll bring up that thing where it says to install additional packages, you'll need to reboot first, as expected. And like I said the first time, if you're about to install something else, hit yes now. Like in my case, I'm about to install Magisk. If you're installing like the Twerp recovery stuff or something else, you will want to reboot again. If not, and all you want to do is install your GApps, just, you know, continue. So I'm going to hit yes here and let it reboot at the pace of, screw you. Also, what do you mean? That's right, it freaks out and says it failed. I forget it does that part too. Again, it's not broken, it didn't fail, it all installed. It just, the platform tools just like to freeze like that via side loading with the recovery stuff. So we're going to go back to recovery mode in my case. I'm going to install the Magisk package, which should be the smallest package of them all. Yeah, it's about 11 megabytes. This one's going to be the quickest of all of these packages and will be probably the lightest of all these packages. I would have done the Pico package for the Mind the G apps, but I don't think I did. So it's going to be kind of all the Google apps, which I really don't mind. If I really need to, I'll just remove them from the ADB command line here. Again, not the biggest worry in my opinion. So we're going to quickly ADB side load, and we're going to drop, after we hit the space, drop this package in here, hit enter. What do you mean? Oh, whoops, put the A and O backwards. Thank you, dyslexia. I love you. So we are going to go back here and correct that. Isn't that great? You know, I probably need to grant it ADB access. So we're going to do that again. This one's going to go really quick because it's, what, an 10 megabyte file we've got chilling right here in front of us. So if we do that, it's giving me error 21. Hell. Okay, so that means signature error. So, okay, in that case, you can verify the signature. Just hit yes on the install anyways, if you know what your package is, what you're installing, and if you trust it. In this case, this is Magisk. It's a very well-known piece of software, very trusted, very, very good at that. For rooting and stuff, it's been the rooting staple for a very long time. So I'm going to install this real quick. It's going to patch the boot image and stuff in my case, because this is for root stuff, and we're going to let this finish real quick. This is going to take a little bit, and in this case it actually froze at 39%, which makes a little sense due to the signature verification error. So I got about that far in, sending the file to the phone, and then just said I'm out. So I'm going to let this take its time, as Magisk does like to take a little bit here at times, since this is device-sided, and I will say, this is not a fast phone, it's not slow, so it's going to take a little bit. In this case, it did actually not want me to reboot for this image patch and stuff, since it's just putting an app on there and just a random thing, not a ton of stuff where it needs to reboot it. So it did actually say it did finish. I remember this one on my Pixel tablet, it didn't take too long. So now that we've got this done, we're going to move back to the camera. We're going to continue working on the phone here. Let's swap back over to the iPhone.
Okay, so here we are again. We're going to drop the phone right back over here. Now that we've got it charged up and definitely ready to go. As you can see, we are on the recovery version of 22.1, and the phone name is channel. So normal stuff, we are on the same phone, nothing crazy. I didn't swap devices or anything, of course. And we're going to reboot to system now. And this is the part that takes forever, that vibration there tells me the phone is getting ready to boot. So let's wait for the Lineage boot screen real fast. Oh no, this ain't great. I just had this working. Why are you not wanting to boot now? Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Please tell me you're actually going to boot. It did go quicker that time. So maybe actually... Reboot to the recovery real fast. And see what that does. We'll see if we have anything in there showing any signs, but this wasn't giving me this issue previously, and I don't know why it's doing it now. Come on. Okay. Okay, so we might need to do a factory data reset. I think I've had to do this in the past, and actually, if memory serves correct, I might have not wiped all the storage on the phone. So yeah, we might need to factory reset here real fast. Format data. I'm hoping this fixes it. If not, I'm gonna have to re-go through all of that, which I'm not gonna record for you guys. I don't want to put you through that hell watching that again. It did wipe the data, so we're gonna reboot the system now and see if that fixed it maybe. If not, I'll just plop a copy of TWRP on here and full wipe the storage that way, and then install the ROM from there. I've had that be an issue in the past. I don't know if that's the case with this phone. It's booting a little quicker. Don't shut off on me, please. I don't really want to have to go through and wipe everything again. Great. Okay, we're good. Thank God. That's okay. That was about to make me lose my mind having to go through all of that just to make it boot, but here we are. Lineage is booting, as we would hope it would do. Now this part, I do expect to probably take a little while, but we'll sit here for a minute, and if it takes long enough, I'll just speed up this part of the video. And no, it didn't. Okay, we're good. Welcome to LineageOS. Can we turn up the brightness somehow? No? Okay. So we're gonna hit start. Next. I don't care about the SIM card. That's the least of my worries in this case. We're gonna connect to my hotspot over here. Don't remember. Actually, yeah, I probably don't want to show that password either. Alright, so there we go. Connect. It should connect, and there we go. Alright, so we're connected to the iPhone's hotspot. We're gonna hit next here. GMT, we are not in GMT, I am in Eastern time. So New York is the closest we're getting. I'll take that. Why are you turning the brightness all the way down? Here, let me make this bag of Skittles and then get some more light on it. It just got dark, and there we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Skip that. I don't have anything on my copy. Yes, I want my locate. What are you doing? Help improve. I don't need that, as that actually slows down the phone a little bit. Password. Actually, no, wait. Can I go back? Here, let me do that. Pin. That's what I was looking for. Alright, there we go. We're going to stay in dark mode, even though apparently the phone doesn't want to let me turn up the brightness. I'll try gesture navigation. If it doesn't work, I'll swap back to the 3 button, which is actually what this phone used by stock. So we're gonna hit next, and we are in the phone. Okay, there we go. Turn that up and then turn off auto brightness, because I'm not worried about that. And it did not install the Google apps. That's annoying. Okay, so we'll need to download and install Magisk here real fast. So we'll do that, I guess, while we're at it, and then I'll figure out the Google apps in a minute. I'll use whatever package I used for this. I have it on my laptop still from when I modified my Pixel tablet. This could take a minute. I guess I'll show you guys this thing real quick. So, this stuff off. Are you gonna boot? Brother, you were just working like a day ago. I don't know. Not worry. Charge it later and figure it out. Okay, so, oh, what did I do? I did nothing. Hello, you gonna work with me? We're gonna quickly go to settings here because it needed me to do this. Wi-Fi and data usage, open app by default, permissions, where would those be? Oh, install unknown apps, there we go. Turn that on, meaning we can actually do this now, actually install unknown apps with it. If for some reason this doesn't work, I'll set that zip file back to an APK and just drop it in the phone and install it that way. That may or may not be the case, it's hard to say. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so we got Magisk. Hit cancel, because that hijacking method doesn't work right with this, so you have to manually install this way, and now do direct installation, and then hit let's go. This should unpack the boot image and root the phone for me, which means next thing we'll have to do is install the Google app packages on this and figure out from there. There we go. Okay. Reboot. And once it restarts here, we'll come back to the fast boot mode and just hit start. I should add, it's only Motorola's that I've seen ever do this. Every other device like this just gives you a little warning. Some phones, they just boot. Just continue. Come on. I need to make sure you didn't kill yourself. Boot. There we go. Okay, so put the pin in. Alright, we should be back in the phone. I mean, it's running pretty smooth. It's definitely shown its stutters from its age, but it's still very usable. So if we go down to, I think that'd be system. No, it'd be about phone, so I can enable dev options. Password. Under system, we should have dev options now, and memory profiling. Let me see. I think this has 2 gigs of RAM. Okay, so we're gonna reboot. Thank you. I love you. This does take a little extra RAM. It's so minuscule though, you really don't notice it with the memory profiling stuff. So, start up. Come on. Yeah, that's what we want. And real quick, while this boots, I'm gonna quickly look up the GApps package I was using to see if I can find it that way. I just want the Pico image as it is the smallest. That's right, I can't use my phone here. It's not plugged into my desktop for the hotspot. I'll just wait on that. We'll get to that once it boots here. It should be rooted. Alright, now that we're in, we should be able to see the memory real fast and then pop back over to the desktop. System. Yeah. Developer options, and yep, 1.9 gigabytes of RAM, so 2. 1.5 used memory in the last 3 hours, and yes, as LineageOS likes to do, we're apparently using 9,223 petabytes of RAM, because, you know, that's normal. I noticed that on this too when I was doing the memory profiling. So, alright, now that we've got that on, I'm just gonna not disable that apparently, because it won't let me. Oh wait, yeah. So in this case, we're gonna shut that back off on this phone, because with how little RAM it has, it does worry me even if it's like 13 megabytes. I'd rather squeeze every bit of performance out of this phone with this. So we're gonna do that real quick, and we're not gonna start. Let's see. We're gonna power off for now while I slip back to the desktop and get the GApps package for the phone off my laptop. So I will be right back.
Okay, so I figured out the issue. The GApps package was not designed for Android 15. That makes a little sense because they literally did just release these copies of 15 for, you know, like Lineage and stuff. So we're gonna look for the core GApps package or Pico. Nick GApps, mind the GApps. Let me see if Nick G has it. Yes, they do, I think. Yes, okay. So we're gonna download now. Under releases, we're gonna go for Android 15 right there. And then the latest copy from last year or 3 days ago, and we're gonna look for the core package because I just want Play Store and stuff. I'll download the other stuff as I need it. Yeah, actually, that's not too bad. Unpacked, that's probably about 200 megabytes total for all the apps combined. So I'm gonna let my hotspot run at the speed of screw all right now. So now that we're back here, we're gonna quickly plug the phone back into my desktop. And if I could, there we go. Okay, recovery mode. we're going to do that, and then install the G-app package, which I'm hoping didn't install previously. Otherwise, we're going to have some conflict there, and I'm going to have to reinstall the entire operating system. If it did, I could just, again, remove it with some command line stuff, and then through the ADB platform tools here, and then just update the rest of them. So now that we're here, we're going to go to apply update, apply from ADB, and then ADB side load. And in my downloads, we have Nick apps. Whoops, I forgot to put my space. I probably need that, don't I? So we're going to go right there and hit enter. This should go a lot quicker because the other G-app package was, how much was it? Nope. Properties. Oh, well, okay, it was right there in front of me. It's about half a gig, so that might have actually been my issue too, is this phone will not take too big of a G-app package. So now that we're doing that, I'm going to minimize this and let this install here, because this is going to take a minute again. Oh, you know, I just realized it has a signature verification error. That may be my issue. Okay, there we go. Now I'm seeing stuff happening. I'm not seeing any errors so far. There we go. That's what we want. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like the package did install. I'm going to reboot the system real quick, and I'm going to see if this package actually did install. So I'll be right back and update you guys if it did. And then we're going to run some root apps and see what we can do with the phone. Okay, so we do have the Play Store on here now, and I'm realizing where it's sitting. It may have actually been there, but I don't remember seeing it. So whatever, honestly. I'm not too worried about it. We have the Play Store on here now, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to quickly download some root apps on it, and we're going to go back to the phone.
So we're going to quickly put what is now fully modified here on the table and take a good whiff of it in, guys. So whatever, that doesn't work, so we're going to quickly open the phone up, and actually it's a little snappier with play services on here, which is normally not the case with this type of stuff. So we're gonna do that. Sign in. Oh hell yeah, CC Clear, and it's the 2025 edition, guys. And it's the same app we've had with them for however many years. Oh great. Well, apparently Play Store crashes every time you install something. That's gonna be another fun one to tackle. Allow, agree, and verify root. Are you gonna, there we go, grant. Okay, so we're good. We can remove all that, get rid of this garbage that honestly I hate the living life out of me with. Uninstall, okay, and there we go. So now that we got rid of that, let's go back to Play Store, and I'm gonna get a little overclocker, that's what they're referred to as, and just boost the phone to run in full performance all the time. So there's an app I used, it was LO CPU frequency scaler. This one should be quick, yeah, it's only a megabyte in size. So if we do this, this should boost the phone a little bit more. So grant, and then we're gonna do performance. Oh, that is so much better. Oh my gosh, I'm already feeling it. So, okay, now that we've got that, we've verified that's all working. I'm gonna install the Better Messaging and Phone app on here because I prefer those for the life of me. Phone by Google. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but just in case I need it, it's there. And then we need Google Messages. Okay, so now that we have all that, I think this phone is ready to do its thing and do whatever. So actually also a better keyboard that's going to absolutely kill the performance on the phone than the Gboard. Can't go without it. Okay, so we got that, and I think we're good to go. Yes, okay. So it is actually a little bit faster with the Play services on there for some reason. Emote is probably eating itself alive for the RAM usage. Not the biggest worry. Okay, that's what I was talking about. It's a lot lighter for the storage requirement here in this case. So yeah, it's only 7.5 gigabytes on my Pixel tablet. It's about 11, and it's actually for the Android 11 build. Temporary system files. What are you doing? Why? No, clear that. Okay, free up space. No, I'm good. I don't need to free up anything. So now that we're going here, I think we're good to go. And apparently Play Store doesn't crash every time you install an app. It may just be bigger apps or something, or it's just a random hiccup. So here we are. Phone's finished. We got what I wanted out of the root on it, just to give it a little more of a kick. I did that on here too, and it's honestly pretty nice to have. And then we got all the phone app and stuff, the more superior one, because honestly, Lineage's app is kind of garbage. I'm not even gonna lie. It gets the job done, but ugh. It's literally replicating stock Android for the image or like the design of it. So I have no idea what they're doing. So yeah. All right. Well, in that case, I guess we're done with this. Not that I can think much of else that I want to do with the phone. So I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do apologize for the kind of not so great video styling and skill of it. I'm still very new to this for actual camera views. I was struggling a little with that, if you can't tell. But otherwise, I was actually doing pretty good otherwise, I think. Leave your suggestions in the comments on what else I can do to make these a little more interesting down the line whenever I do start posting more of these videos. And actually, that reminds me, I've got a little video coming up with something else. I'm just going to show it. I'm not going to turn it on or anything. You guys can figure out what we're doing with it in the comments until the video actually, well, comes out. So, we have a Switch. Now, place your bets in the comments what work we're going to be doing to this. I will say it is not a mod chip. Don't get your hopes up there. For those of you that like the modding scene, I am not about to go soldering stuff or doing anything with this. Not really my taste or preference with my console here right now. Well, one of them. This one isn't mine, but was given to me. So, we're going to do some stuff to work on it. So, whatever you want to do, off those hints I've given you, you can figure it out. Place your bets in the comment. When I get the part in probably about like 3-4 days, you'll see what we're actually doing with this thing. So, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay safe.